Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we are going to talk about the CC1 Mark II, aka the brand new tier 9 Italian tank destroyer that in my opinion totally sucks. And of course I can't tell you that this tank is bad without explaining you why. First of all, concerning the gun, you see that it has the same mechanism as the Minotauro, which is logical because we're talking about the tier 9. The main difference between both of them being that here the alpha damage is reduced from 490 to 450. First, this freaking alpha damage is extremely frustrating for the simple fact that you see that with your first shell it takes you 10 seconds plus 3.5 seconds of reload, so around 13.5 seconds to unleash only 450 alpha damage. When you do the ratio of reload per shot, it's just lame and will get you frustrated. The second problem is the accuracy. 4.9 seconds of aim time is just too long for such a tank and specifically for the alpha damage it's delivering. The only cool thing about the gun in my opinion is the gun depression, aka 13 degrees, which is the highest out of all the tanks that this branch has to offer, which allows you versatility on every single terrain the game has to offer. But the real problem, or at least what makes it unplayable in my opinion, is definitely the engine of the tank. This thing is too slow, which means that if you go on a side where your teammates are going to roll on the opponents, they're going to kill everyone before you manage to get into position. And in the other hand, if you go on one side where you're going to be totally alone, you realize a little bit too late that you're alone and you want to come back to your team, no, there is no hope. You are going to get killed by the enemies rushing you, which means that you are extremely weak when it comes to light tanks, mediums, and pretty much everything that can circle you. And to finish off, the armor profile is not among the greatest. What I mean by that is that the little plate here is bigger than on the tier 8, and on top of that, if you switch to gold shell, this area becomes quite easy to penetrate, which means that if you want to use it properly, you are forced to always use your 13 degrees of gun depression. And even if it seems easy at first to do that, in game it's actually quite hard to find position where 13 degrees of gun depression, and I mean all the 13 degrees, not the 10 out of the 13 or anything like that, are usable. Now let's take a look at some replay. We're gonna go for two games, so one where it's a replay and we did kind of good, and another one where we're gonna go live battle. You see that at the beginning I'm using the speed boost, which is in my opinion a must with this tank if you want to get a chance at doing damage. Basically, right now we are facing a lot of tier 10s. And of course, in order to do that properly, we need to stick with the rest of the team. Basically, thanks to our poor DPM, even when we only use the last shell, we are forced to stay with the rest of the team every time. Do not go alone with this tank, otherwise you're gonna get clapped. So what we're gonna do here is trying to hide a little bit and play the regular tank destroyer because we do not have the choice. Like, I mean, it's not the kind of tank destroyer with which you can play aggressively, try to lead the team. No, it's definitely not that. And there we go for the T-57 Heavy. Here I decided to burst all my shells for the simple fact that if the guy was not scared, he could have just snapped 3 shells in me and it would have been a little bit pissing me off because it's only 1.5 minutes into the game, right? But not a problem, he didn't do that, he tried to escape. So now we are lucky for the simple reason that this map is small, which means that we have the possibility of going from point A to point B, point A being my area of spawn and point B being the area of spawn of the opponents, and it allows me to get exactly where I want. And you see that unlike with the Minotauro, here I am not using at all the only first shell mechanism. Like, I'm not shooting only the first shell and waiting for my whole reload, etc, etc. Everything goes back again. Why am I doing that? Because with this tank, usually the games are gonna go too fast for you to be able to do your damage. I really struggled getting a game above 3k damage. It nearly never happens with this tank. Usually I get 3 shots in and that's it pretty much. And you see here on the alpha damage of the Object 268, like the 348 I did, that's extremely frustrating. You had 13.5 seconds of reload just to inflict 350 alpha damage. it's just not enough. And I feel like Wargaming will definitely buff this tank because in its current statistics, it's just unplayable, or at least not fun to play with at all. Now we're gonna go for a live battle for us to really understand what's the main problem with this. Something I forgot to mention, the fact that it's quite big, which means that your camo is going to be reduced, which is definitely not helping when you're playing with the tank destroyer. But let's see what we can do. So, we have the mediums here, we have the heavies here, and already the team are splitting, which means that we have a 100% chance of losing this one. Not a problem. We're gonna do our best. If the teammates are playing in the town, but where the T-5042 is, and just roll around, it should be fine. Alright, so let's see what we can do. So, first of all, we need to wait for the whole reload, which is definitely something boring, but I mean, if you go for the Italian tank destroyer, you know that you will have to endure this. So, okay, finally we're in place. Can we sneak a shot? Let's wait for the Centurion. Ah, Centurion, man. Why? Is he gonna listen or not? Yep, I mean, that's already too late. So, here's the perfect example of what I wanted to show you. I went on what I can suppose to be the wrong side. Now I need to go on the other side. Just take a look at the time it's going to take me. We've been in the game 2 minutes already, and yet we didn't do nothing. If you do one mistake with the position, the placement with this tank, it's going to cost you so much. I'm going to try to use my speed boost. Maybe it's going to help me getting into position faster. And now I'm forced to use gold shell. No, I don't want to use gold shell against this one, because if I do... Okay, perfect. There we go for first shell. Second shell because the guy's watching me, and I'm going to try to kill it. Alright, I went for the 3 shells in because I was expecting the Skoda to try to burst every single shell he has on me. And now we are kind of stuck in this position, waiting for my complete reload, which means that on this minute, I'm only going to get 1.5k DPM that I couldn't use to the maximum because my 3rd shell on the Skoda was only a 200 alpha damage one because of its hit points. But yeah, that's the price to pay when you are forced play with an auto reloader. Okay, there we go, boys. Only the 2nd shell is reloaded now, and you see that my teammates need my help that I can't provide yet. Alright, so let's go. Finally. Okay, we snap a shell. Once again, the freaking frustrating alpha damage. Only 372 alpha damage for 13.5 seconds of reload, and now we're gonna go on the Bison. If at least we had the exact same damage output as the regular Minotauro, I don't think I would mind. But here in its current state, it's just too hardcore, you know? It's just not suitable. Alright, there we go. What? Oh no, I shot before my last shell was done. Oh. Yeah, this is also the kind of thing that is going to happen with you when you're playing with this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's stay all down, because after all, that's what this tank is made for. Can we get some shot on the T-26-4? You see that usually the armor is going to tank pretty much against tier 8s. The main problem being that if you try to use it against tier 10, they're going to switch to gold shell and it's just over for you. But, well, you can't get everything. Alright. Let's try to get this T-26E4. If we kill it as soon as possible, we can probably deal with the other fella. Alright, there we go. Bang, he's done. Can we maybe get a shot on the first prototype? Not yet. Ah, man, I just hope we're not gonna have to run after him, because if it's the case, it's going to be horrible. There is nothing we can do against mediums if they circle us. And I feel like this Progetto is playing like a goddamn retard. Why you went in? Oh, he baited him. Oh, that was actually a good thing to do. If you... No. Putain, il est con. it's over. If the guy circles me, it's over. I have the worst mobility ever. I can't do shit. That's the problem with this thing. You can't do anything. Yeah, I'm gonna get... Nah, I told you, when you're facing mediums alone, it's literally over. You can't do anything. There is no way I win this, except if the guy, I don't know, tries... No, it seems like he knows how to play on top of that. Just luck, pure luck, literally pure luck. I should have just lose this one. It was pure luck, and I feel like with this replay, you really saw what the tank is not capable of. I still got an ace tanker out of nowhere. I mean, why not? I'm not gonna complain, but honestly, was it ace worthy? No. I really don't know what else to say about this tank. It just sucks. It's just horrific, and if you have the possibility of just free XPing your way from the tier 8 to the tier 10, just do it, because this one is just pure pain. So hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Tell me in the comments if you like the tier 9 or not. And personally, I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, hopefully on a better tank from the Italian Tank Destroyer branch. See ya.